Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raw Kick. Yes, guys, it's the Spanish Grand Prix, the most boring race in F1 history behind Monaco. But hey, at least we're taking Catalonia, right? So, yes, guys, Miami was fun with the football helmets, fake marinas, and police escorts. But now it's time to get back to business. So today, we're going to be looking over what to expect for the Spanish Grand Prix, any new news that came out or any new upgrades to expect. So let's get started. Alright, let's get started with some news. So obviously earlier in the year they cancelled the Russian Grand Prix and they're not replacing it. So it'll, instead of 23 races, it's going to be 22 races instead. So that means next year we're going to be having 23 races in F1 because of Vegas, but this year it's going to be 22 just like last year. So that's the first one. Next one is Nick de Vries is actually going to be running in FP1 tomorrow. He's going to be driving the Williams car. He's going to replace Alex Albon for FP1, so Albon won't run FP1 and instead it will be Nick de Vries, who is also the Mercedes reserve driver. So that's pretty cool. He's going to be making his F1 weekend debut. So this is going to be like his I think he running like some like off-season tests, but it's like the first time he's actually going to be able to run like a F1 weekend. So that's cool. Alright, let's take a look at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. It's 16 turns, 4.68 kilometers. The race is going to be 66 laps long with 2 DRS zones, one on the start finish straight and one after you exit turn 9 and going into turn 10. So this track is mostly has an emphasis on medium and low speed corners, so there's not going to be too much emphasis on straight line speed. So this is more about downforce. Now this track is actually pretty familiar to the teams since they've run it multiple times in preseason test this year and in years past. So it's not a new track for these teams. They've run it multiple times. They haven't made any changes to it apart from like turn 10. I think they like widened it kinda last year, but they haven't made any changes to it. So yeah, it's mostly going to be emphasis on like downforce because of the medium and low speed corners. Like the only main straights are obviously like the 2 DRS zones, like the start finish straight, and then like the exit of turn 9 going into turn 10. Yeah, 66 laps, 4.68 kilometers, 16 turns. Yeah, usually this track, you can't really overtake too much on this track, which is why I said that it's the second most boring race. Like the race hasn't been too good, but with the new regulations, then maybe that might change. But any team that runs a pretty high downforce, well, not too high, but any team that has a good amount of downforce, they can definitely take advantage of this track and get some points. So yeah, that's the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Alright, let's talk about upgrades now. So this is actually a good time to bring some upgrades. This is actually a good time for the teams to bring some upgrades because they already know this track. They have all the data from testing and previous races, previous tests, so everyone is familiar with this track. So this is like a good time to bring upgrades. So apparently, according to racefans.net, Alpine will actually be adding some upgrades to their car after they introduced a revised floor in recent rounds. Aston Martin team principal actually stated that the team will introduce upgrades to their car for the Spanish Grand Prix. And Mercedes, I think Mercedes are definitely going to be adding some upgrades. In the article, it says that the race offers an opportunity to benchmark the Radical Zero side pods with more conventional designs. So I think Mercedes are still going to keep the no side pod thing, but if they end up running it the way it was previously, then okay. They need to fix their porpoising. That's really all they need to do. That's the thing that's like losing them speed. But like this is like the perfect time to like bring upgrades. I think Ferrari really needs to bring upgrades. Like now, Red Bull is catching up. Like Red Bull has a lot of straight line speed, good amount of downforce as well. Like you know, like once the engine doesn't blow up in Red Bull, then you can literally win the race. So I think Ferrari really needs to like definitely apply some big upgrades to their car, just so they can, like, you know, increase their lead in the championship, because Red Bull is definitely catching up. All right, so with all that being said, went through news, went through the track info. We also talked about upgrades, Mercedes and Alpine and Aston Martin, maybe even Red Bull. Like, I don't know, like, I think everything will bring some sort of upgrade to Catalonia. Now, with that being said, let's talk predictions, top 5 predictions. So here are my predictions. So like I said, there's a lot of, like, Catalonia, the emphasis is not really on straight line speed, is more on like medium and low speed corners. Sector 1, you know, is mostly medium speed corners, with obviously the start finish straight. Sector 2 is definitely just medium and low speed, and sector 3 is mostly low speed with a few medium corners. So I'm gonna go bold here, I think. So for my top 5 predictions, I have Charles Leclerc to win, Carlos Sainz second, Max Verstappen third, Sergio Perez fourth, and just to keep up with the culture, George Russell gets another top 5 finish. So that's my top 5 predictions: Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, and Russell. So yeah, that's it for this preview, I guess. I don't expect much from this Grand Prix at all. Like, it's going to be kind of boring, you know. So yeah, I'll see you next one. Peace.